Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter, and welcome back to the next instalment of my countdown to Christmas 2021. Now today's project is making this cute little Christmas tree ornament, which can also double up as a Christmas card. Let me show you how it works. Now this is one I'm making not as a Christmas card and ornament, but as a birthday. We've got somebody who's got a birthday, Christmas birthday coming up, and I thought it'd be fun to do one of these as a birthday card. I'm just going to put the extra the finishing touches to it, but I didn't want to do it on air because I know she watches this channel. But let me show you how it works. So this is how you would give it to the recipient, or you would post it to them. There'd be a sentiment on the front and somewhere to write on the back, which is what these two are for. And then to open it, you slide the bead along the ribbon, and then you turn it inside out like that, which reveals all the different pages. And then you put the two ends together like that and slide the bead back down again like that. This is a larger one. This is the 5x5 papers. This is the 4x4, and as you can see there's quite a significant size difference, which is why I stick to the 4x4 for my Christmas decorations. So I'm just going to close it up again, you just pull the bead along the ribbon and let it close up like that. It naturally wants to do that. Then close up your bead and you've got that. Now you can, the reason I like to do these at Christmas is because they fold down to such a small little thing that it's quite easy to then store them. So I'm just going to fold that over and then slide that back up, and we've got the place to write our sentiments, or the to and the from. And then this, for this one, because it's going to be for my tree, this one, I just put celebrate and wonder on the front. And if you don't know whether you're going to pick it up, but there is some glitter that I've put on there as well, just a bit of spray glitter. So let me show you how to make your own. Pop those all out of the way and bring in all the bits and pieces I'll need. Now you will need 4 pieces of 4x4 paper. Trying to find the bead. Where's my bead gone? There it is. So you'll need 4 pieces of 4x4 paper. I've got 2 there because I've already folded the other 4. Let's bring those in as well. Already folded them rather than take up all of your time. And 2 pieces of just under 2x2 white card or topper, whatever you want to use for your decoration. Or if indeed if it's just decoration, there's no reason to put these on at all. You'll need a bead which has got quite a large opening because we're going to thread the ribbon through it. You'll need a piece of ribbon which is, this is 13 inches long. This is for the 4x4. If you're doing if you're doing something bigger like the 5x5, 5x5 you end up with a 2.5 by 2.5 size square on the ends, and the 4x4 you end up with a 2x2 on the ends there. So if you're doing the larger one, I think I went to 15 inches on the ribbon for this one, and so on and so forth. You can make it whatever size you like. I have done them quite small. I've done them 3x3, which gives a 1.5 by 1.5. And if you go by 2x2, then you get a 1x1 front on there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, now I've chosen to do for both of these, to do it in alternate papers. So I've got this paper for the one, and then I'm using this one for the other. I'm just to create a bit of a pattern going on. Now they've come from the paper pad, which I believe I got from the works. So let's just pop that out of the way, and it just creates a little bit more interest in your finished decoration. If I open that out, you can see we've just got those alternating papers there. So pop that back down. So you take your 4x4 papers and you start off by folding them in half, point to point, like that. It's a very simple fold, and one that you will have seen lots and lots of times. I'm just going to grab my bone folder and just crease it along there like that. Open it out, flip it over. It's important you do flip over because it just helps with the folding of the final piece at the end. Then you're just going to do edge to edge folding in half. So you've just done the point to point, which is that. Open it out, flip it over, and then do edge to edge on both sides. So very simple, like that. I'm going to do it one more time on that piece, just so you know. So once you've done that, open it out and pop it up in the middle, like that. Then what you get is this piece tries to come in. So if I just let it go like that, or like that, these edges are starting to come up. So we'll let them do that, and as they come up, it starts to fold in on itself. So if I just do that, it starts to fold in, and you get this square. If you've done any sorts of tea bag folding or origami, you're going to be very familiar with this type of fold. It's often what you do to start an origami project or even a tea bag fold, but that's as far as we're going to go with that. Let me show you one more time. So you take your paper and you fold it point to point. You might want to figure out which is going to be the inside and which is going to be the outside. So if you're folding it point to point, this will be on the inside of your fold. Let me just show you. So that will be on the inside. If you want something, so this will be in there on the, let's open that properly so I can show you. So this paper, this pattern will be on the inside there, whereas this pattern will be here. So that might be something you want to take into consideration when you are doing your folds, but I would suggest not worrying about that too much. Just get used to making it first, and then once you're happy that you're confident about making them, then you can start looking at your papers and looking at how you're going to do them, and which papers you want on the inside and which you want on the sides. So once you've folded it in half, point to point, you're going to flip it over. So I've done it point to point that way. You're going to open it up, flip it over, and then do edge to edge folding in half again. So just bring it all the way up like that, crease down, open it up, turn it 90 degrees and fold edge to edge on the other side like that. So these are really nice if you've got some of foiled card. I haven't, I did look actually, but I haven't got any foiled Christmas papers at all, which I'm going to have to rectify, I think. Another trip to the shops. Again, once you've opened it up, the two edges where you've got your diagonal will start to come up. So let's allow them to do that. So we'll bring them up, and as they come up, all the other sides come in. So we're going to allow them to come together and then fold into that square like that. Okay, very, very simple fold. And once we've done that, what I like to do, because I am using alternative papers, I like to put the ones that are the same together and the other two that are the same together. Just going to recrease some of those, and that way I can get an alternate pattern going on with my papers. So let's pop them all down together. So I've got those three and those three. So I've got all 6 of my 4x4 papers already folded. Now, once I've done that, what I need to do next is to start gluing. So grab my glue, and I'm going to put these alternates. I'm going to do one of these, then move on to one of those. Okay, so actually I'm going to turn these round. I'm just looking at my papers and I want them all facing the same way. So I'm going to lift up my first one, and I'm just going to glue the whole of that surface. So just glue all on there, covering as much as that surface with a little coating of glue as I can. And then I'm going to bring in the papers from the other colour, and making sure that I've got the open ends facing the same way. I'm then going to glue them together. So this is my point where all my folds are. This is the point where all my folds are, and I'm just simply going to glue them together like that. So what I do is I hold them in my fingers so I can feel the edges and then push them together, paying particular attention to the closed corners. These are the corners we want lined up and matching. So once I've done that one, I'm going to glue that edge and bring in the alternate one, and getting all those edges. So I'm bringing in my next one, which is this one, and I'm just going to place it on top, line it all up, pinching it all together, paying particular attention to this closed fold here. So I've got all my open folds at that end and my closed folds at this end, and this is the important one that I need to make sure is all lined up. Okay, then glue again, and you keep doing this until you've got all 6 of them glued together. Okay, so I'm just having a look at the pattern under there because I want to make sure I get the patterns going in the same way. This is just me being a little bit finicky and OCD about getting my patterns going the same way. Best, if you are doing it for the first time, to use papers that are non-directional, such as this one on the top. Unfortunately, my inside patterns, I'll just show you, they are directional. That one is, and so is that one. So I'm trying to line up my inside patterns going the same way. So again, I've got all my closed edges together and my open edges together on the same there. So I'm going to grab my glue again, and I'm going to glue up, And it doesn't matter which end you do it. If you've got alternate papers, it doesn't matter which end you glue as long as you're carrying on with the alternate. I'm just checking my papers again, and I'm popping them on there. I'll show you what I was looking for in a second once I've got these all glued. It's probably going to be easier for me to do it once the glue has dried. So that's all together, and again with the last one, putting glue on here just to hold it and glue it all together. And this is what makes it into a sort of a booklet. So let's make sure that my snowmen are going the right way and pop them together like that. Again, as you can see, this paper is non-directional, because whichever way you turn it round, you've got a row of trees that are upside down and a row of trees that are the right way round, depending on whether you want blue or red. So now we have this. So all my creased edges are glued down and are lined up lovely, and my open edges spring open as ever they want to. So what I was lining up, if you want to be a bit OCD like I have been, hold on 1 second, there we go. So when we look at that one, my snowmen are all facing the right way. Let me have a look at this next snowman. So they're all facing the right way, and my third snowman, they're all facing the right way. And I'm hoping it's the same with my Christmas baubles when I open them up, all facing the right way. Because these are going on my tree, so I want them to all be quite uniform in that respect. But if you were doing it the first time, I would most definitely use non-directional papers. Right, so what I'm going to do now is grab some tape. So you just need 2 little pieces of tape, not a huge amount, to hold the ribbon in place. So let's pop that to one side, and I'm just going to cut that in half. So we've got 2 short pieces, and I'm putting one now. This is where you're going to have to be careful, because I keep making this mistake. What you need to do is, I keep putting it this end, the closed end. That's wrong. Don't put it the closed end. Because we're fitting a closure, we need to put it at the open end. So there's our open end, where they're all wanting to speak open, and we need to put our tape at this end. So I'm just going to line it up as close to that corner as I can without going over, and put it like that. So that's at my open end. I'm going to flip it over, check again this is the open end, and lay that down. If you make a mistake, it doesn't really matter, because you are going to cover it over with the greeting and the place for you to write. But it does mean if you put your ribbon on this end, you're not going to be able to close your book over. I've done that several times. So once you've done that, we'll grab our piece of ribbon. Now what I like to do with this is start off by grabbing my dressmaking scissors, or material cutting scissors, and just make a nice little point on the 2 ends. I'll put them together so that the points are the same angle. It doesn't matter at all. The only reason we're doing that is to get it through our bead. So I'm just going to move that out the way. So to do this, what I do is I simply, there's my point, put my finger in there and fold it. So I'm folding it over to make an even more of a fine point, and that then enables it to go through the bead really easily and I can just pull it through like that. Okay, once it's through, it will hold. So I'm now going to get this end and tie a knot, because I don't want it to fall off my ribbon and not be able to get it back on. So just a regular knot, but try and keep it up to the end as much as you can, because we need the room to be able to move the book. Okay, so once we've got to there, I'm going to slide that all the way up to my knot, because I don't need it just yet. Put my glue away and grab my, I do call it a book. It's not a book at all. It's more like a spring, but it just feels like a little book to me. So I'm going to fold it back over. I'm going to grab my pokey tool to take off the carrier paper for my double-sided tape. If I can get it to work, use the bone folder. I have had such a game today with getting the carrier tape off for some reason. And once we've done that, I'm going to take one of the edges of the ribbon and just fix it there, going all the way to that point like that, leaving plenty of room there for the book to be able to fold backwards and forwards. If you do it too tight, then you won't be able to open the decoration. So once I've done it that way, I'm going to just flip it over and do the same on this side. Let's take that carrier off, if it'll come off for me. There we go. And this time I'm going to hold my ribbon like that. If I do it too flat, it does tend to pull one way or another. So I'm just going to hold it up ever so slightly and put my ribbon into place like that. And there we have it. To hold it closed, I'm just going to move the bead down, as you can see, and that now will hold my little decoration closed, which is exactly what it's there for. And bring in my glue again and glue all round the edges, because now I'm going to put my greeting and my place to write on. So if you choose to do this, and you don't need to do this, you could just leave it like that. You could leave it like that, or you could just put a plain sheet of paper over just to hold the ribbon ever so slightly. So I've got my place to write, so I'm just going to very carefully pop that onto the square. Oh, must make sure I put enough glue on the ribbon to hold the ribbon, but also so that it sticks. So let's pop that back down again. Oh, let's take it off completely and put it down again. There we go. And that then will hold the ribbon, but also is a place for me to write a greeting if I decided to send this as a card, an alternative Christmas card. I've got my other sentiments there, which is the front of my my card, as you will, and you could put a picture instead of a stamp, or you could stamp an image on there. Entirely up to you what you wanted to do. So I'm just going to glue this back down, making sure I've got plenty of glue on my ribbon so that that holds it as well. And I'm going to pop that down like that. I often think it would be fun to show all of the family how to make these, and then say one year, why don't we all send these types of greetings cards, so that I can fill my tree with these at Christmas. And then not only have I got a decoration, but I've also got a greeting card that I can bring out year after year. So let me just pop everything away, giving this a minute to dry, and then I'll show you. So again, pull the bead along the length of the ribbon till you reach that knot. It'll spring open, so allow it to do that. Then flip it round, putting those two facing together like that. Then slide your bead back down the length of the ribbon, which will pull these two pieces together like that. There you go, and there you have another Christmas decoration for the tree. Now these two have been made with 6 pieces of 4x4. Let me show you what happens when you make 5. So this, as I said earlier, was 5 pieces of 5x5. So I'm just going to slip the bead up. Now when I open this one, you get a slightly different shape. These are open more than these ones. Now I've done these with alternate papers, so you wouldn't be able to do this alternate, because what you would end up with, if I just pull that across, is you would end up with 2 papers together, which I don't like the look of. If it doesn't bother you, then you can still do it as an alternate. But to keep them alternating well, I've done it with the 6. If I was doing all the same papers, then I would probably do the 5 pieces rather than the 6, because I think it does look nice. So that's it from the side, and then from the front, or from the edges, you get that. So that paper's not quite as interesting, but this is for a birthday rather than for Christmas. So there you go. Those are my alternative Christmas decorations and card, or birthday decoration and card. So I hope you enjoyed that project. It's a project I enjoy doing year on year. It does require a little bit of thought if you are trying to mix and match your patterns, but I think it's a lovely gift to give to anybody. And then they've not only got a card, but they've also got a decoration for the tree, the window, or the wall. And then after Christmas, you can fold them all up and put them away, and you've only got that tiny little space to fill up. Another thing you can do is, as I say, that's all glittered, but then sew on this one, but then sew my insides. I've just spray glittered them just to give a little bit more interest on those pages. So, and you could put pictures on there if you wanted to, turn it into a mini photo album, or you could put pictures and sentiments on each one if you wanted to really personalize things, however you wanted. Lots and lots of ideas for these if you wanted to make things a bit more personalized for your tree. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll give it a go and tag me into it if you do. And yeah, not just for Christmas, also for birthdays. So there you go. I'll put a list of what sizes you'll need below, but as long as they're squares, it doesn't really matter. Just if you do a 4x4, you end up with a little book this size, which is 2x2. But when it's open, I measured it, and this one is 5.5 by 5.5, point to point. Not sure on that one. I could measure it actually, just to show you. So this is the 5x5. I was considering doing a 6x6 until I saw how big the 5x5 was compared with the 4x4, and I thought that's rather large, rather a big difference. So that is all in all about 7 inches across on that one. Okay guys, well, please do let me know if you give it a go, and I'll speak to you in the next project video. Bye for now.